Just when it seemed like broadcasters had firmly muzzled the Duchess of Sussex's recent habit of airing unscripted grievances, Meghan Markle unleashed an explosive tirade aimed squarely at tennis legend Venus Williams following the 2023 EPSY Awards, accusing her of openly mocking Prince Harry after he failed to win the prestigious Pat Tillman Award for service. According to multiple first-hand accounts, the former Suits actress confronted the 7-time Grand Slam champion in conspicuously unhinged fashion shortly after the annual ESPN ceremony concluded last Wednesday. Markle was reportedly incensed over Williams' perceived reaction when Harry's nomination was announced as denied by host Aubrey Plaza. "I saw that insidious smirking sneer crossing your face when my husband's honor was blasphemed from that stage," Meghan can be heard yelling at the 43-year-old Williams on newly surfaced audio obtained by the Block Talk podcast. Her voice is shaking with apparent rage. "Did Mama Oracene not teach either of you Kunta Compton Kuntrashes how to respect the embodiment of service and Caribbean kinship overcoming generational media mistreatment when it's projecting resilience right in front of you?" While the Olympic gold medalist's response is inaudible amidst choppy recording, Markle's Spitfire accusations continue unabated, with the British-born royal clearly infuriated by what she perceived from Williams during the broadcast. "Oh, don't even try walking Tina, dismissing what my circumspect Winfreyian lens detected across those lip-lashed baby hairs. I'm not about to have some Negroish tinted Bergdorf escapee who profited by excluding the inclusivity of apartheid sport undermining my husband's legacy." From there, the inappropriate tirade seemingly escalates even further, with multiple royal renegades and Hollywood aides alleging the Duchess moved on from racially tinged insults to direct threats of potential violence against Williams' family members. This allegedly occurred after the former world number one rebuffed Meghan's demands for an apologetic explanation regarding the alleged smirk. "Either you lips get to profusely cramping about disrespecting real affirmed servicemen suffering actual oppression, or I'll make sure every last liquored one of Richard's illegitimates gets douche profiled on both sides of Laporte by the Third Shift Exchange, Kakapake." While the full context of their confrontation remains murky due to poor audio quality, Markle's menacing words provoked an immediate backlash after snippets leaked across social media. Within hours, the British media was already clamoring for Buckingham Palace and the royal family to address her rancid attacks on multiple black household names. This has become a pattern of disgusting, inexcusable microaggressive behavior from the Duchess on marginalized communities by appropriating racial justice language, thundered Morgan Piers, lead royal analyst at the Mirror. Throwing vile stereotypes about appearing too threatening or profiting off apartheid directly at Venus Williams of all people after sniveling she represents inclusivity in sport. As a black icon who overcame real systemic oppression to define a generation. It beggars belief. Yet I'm utterly unsurprised given Meghan's perpetual self-entitlement. What's more, many interpreted Markle's alleged threats of exposing William's father Richard's illegitimates and douche profiling on both sides of Laporte as menacingly invoking Compton gang violence against their family. That assertion has categorically outraged a broad contingent of community leaders, civil rights activists, and social justice advocates who felt deeply betrayed by the spouse of a prominent mixed-race member of the British royal family weaponizing such racist dog whistles against proud African Americans like Venus. Meghan Markle has undone decades of progress toward transcending menacing stereotypes constantly hung over the heads of law-abiding African diaspora households, said former USC professor Patrice Cullors in a blistering statement distancing her own families from the unfolding controversy. Does this Princess Duchess realize millions of vulnerable young black girls look up to Venus Williams as a paradigm-shattering role model and inspiration for prioritizing education alongside athletic achievement? For her to invoke some degenerate baby mamahood lottery fantasy, reinforcing malicious ignorance aspersions we combat daily is utterly abhorrent. Cullors joined a chorus of prominent voices like Stacey Abrams, Al Sharpton, and Jemele Hill calling upon the Duke and Duchess of Sussex to immediately repudiate Markle's verbal abuse and recant allegations that Williams openly smirked during Harry's EPSY snub. But as of press time, the couple has declined all requests for comment beyond cryptic posts from their Archwell Foundation decrying media-driven, sustainable movement propaganda. Some believe this vague phrasing refers to Sussex insiders quietly laying groundwork to insulate themselves from any potential legal ramifications or full-scale public relations catastrophe by accusing the podcast of spreading misinformation or digitally manipulating Markle's voice. However, growing contingents of anti-racist activists have only redoubled cries for her to unequivocally apologize directly to the Williams family, rather than obfuscate with the type of generalized noble rhetoric many now view as patently disingenuous. So far, neither Venus nor any Williams relatives have addressed the debacle. Others, meanwhile, argue that Markle's incessant habit of dredging up fringe ethnic identities and injecting racially problematic sentiments into innocuous celebrity spaces reflects a much deeper and more troubling level of self-delusion. They contend her apparent belief that spewing African-American vernacular insults heightens solidarity with the African diaspora only further signals an unstable desperation for acceptance into subsects of Black American culture. This latest tirade needs to be a wake-up call that Meghan has clearly developed a schizophrenic-level break with reality when it comes to identifying, however convenient to leverage faux victimhood, asserts British socialite and aristocratic bloodline advisor Sarah Edmondson. One minute she's raging about respecting her privileged role as a humanitarian, serviceman envoy, the next it's morphing into this cringy street patois about gangbanging retribution like the fantasy of some disturbed Hollywood tween. She adds, that level of schizophrenic cultural camouflage over just who precisely she's attempting to relate with by deploying disparate styles of vernacular ancestral affiliations signals real dissociative psychological struggles seemingly from childhood, ones I'd hoped the royal family was better attuned to treating behind closed doors. As the fallout inevitably continues intensifying across mainstream television punditry and celebrity social media alike, other longtime Hollywood observers believe Markle will be simply unable to defuse her latest self-generated detonation this time, no matter how many contrition statements are drafted. According to former close friend Jessica Mulroney, even those who've staunchly maintained faith in Meghan's credibility over the years as an earnest progressive change agent authentically committed to social justice may finally be reaching the end of their patience. I love that woman like a sister, but every time I've stuck my neck out to defend her intentions, she finds an even more reprehensible fresh way to demolish that grace extended, Mulroney said during a tearful SiriusXM interview. Denigrating Venus Williams' persevering embodiment of Black womanhood and grace under fire for clout might devastatingly be the final bridge too far, as much as it shatters my heart to realize the troubling depths her narcissistic need for societal loyalty truly stems. Only time will tell whether Markle can somehow repair her dilapidating reputation after crossing yet another sacred line in African American celebrity culture. But the commonplace chorus rapidly building steam portrays an increasingly isolated performer whose overzealous attempts to arbitrate racial equitability have only succeeded in marginalizing herself into a fringe outrage peddling caricature, precisely the type of persona she once sought enlightenment from transcending. If she remains incapable of healing such spiritually severed personal detachments, Meghan Markle may soon find the very marginalized communities of unity she claims to uplift are the ones feeling liberated from enabling her self-serving delusions any further.